Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, one of the most important aspects I feel to develop as a successful individual is reading. Do you know that both of my children, when they were very, very young, they would sit in a little chair. It was called a bumbo chair. I don't know if you've heard of one of those, but they would sit in that little chair and we'd put them in front of the television and they would watch this video series called Your Baby Can Read. And it was really popular about 12, 14 years ago. It was kind of the big thing, you know, getting your kids to read, developing their skills so that they become active readers. Do you know that my 14-year-old, by the time she was 7, had read all the Harry Potter books and probably more novels than the majority of people that I know. And she's just an avid reader. She's voracious with it because I believe we introduced her to it at a young age. Now, she's going to graduate from high school this year at the age of 14, and she's fully enrolled in college already and been taking college classes for the last couple of years. So, you know, I always say I don't think my kids are smarter than anybody else's kids, and I don't think my kids are better than anybody else's kids, but I do think we've filled their glass with different information than most people do that has allowed them to later in life at the young age of 14 be extremely successful and adaptative to the situations they've been put in. And when you're a child, the majority of the situations that you're put in are related to school, right? So they've done extremely well in school, and I think that reading has a lot to do with that. You know, LeVar Burton once said something really cool. He said, "Readers are leaders." And it's been in my head since the beginning of time, and it's true. The best way to change the programming going on here in your supercomputer is to overwrite the programming by reading the Word. Okay, and I know that people like to listen to audiobooks and podcasts, and you're watching me right now. Maybe you're listening to me on your way home from work or to work. But I need to just reinforce with you, reading is fundamentally important to everything you're doing in every aspect of your life. The more you read, the better your supercomputer is going to work, the more you're going to get out of life. And I'm not alone. I want to share with you some quotes from some people whom I admire, who had something really great to say about reading, and I just want to utilize their words to help reinforce the statements I'm making, okay? Because whether you're an avid reader or not, I do believe these quotes will ignite a deep appreciation for the magic found within the pages of a book, expanding your knowledge and hopefully touching your heart. Okay, so let's jump in here. One of the first quotes I wanted to bring up is by George Martin. He said, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives but only one." That's beautiful. I like that. That's a nice one. Harper Lee, and we all have heard of Harper Lee, right? "Until I feared I would lose it, I never loved to read. One does not love breathing." And I think it's true, right? We tend to take things that just come easy to us for granted, and we don't. And it gets a little bit more difficult for us to step back and appreciate that which we know is good for us, but can be a little bit difficult. It does take time to take time out of your day to sit down, and that can be a challenge, you know, to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour and read a book. But I can assure you the benefits you'll get from reading, no matter what it is. Hopefully it's something I recommend, like Think and Grow Rich or As a Man Thinketh. But these are books that I recommend that you read because I've found benefit in these books, and I cherish the words that are within them. And I just want to share because I know it's helped me to develop into the successful individual I am today, and I'm hoping it'll help you to develop into the successful individual that you want to be. And you have your own path, so you'll become your own success. But I know it's going to be amazing and beautiful. You know, Stephen King once said, "Books are uniquely portable magic." Books are magic because they contain the word. And you know, the written word is magic. That's why they call it spelling. So Stephen King made a good point there, and I love his books. He really is a creative individual. You know, I like Stephen King, but I also like Audrey Vandergraph. That's my 11-year-old daughter that has an amazing ability to write creative thought. And her stories, when you listen to them, they sound like they've come from a Stephen King or some sort of a formal writing professional who's had training and has had lots of different opportunities to develop their talent. She's only 11, but the words and creativity that come out of her are amazing. And I think in the future, you're going to see stuff from her in Barnes & Noble and other platforms. You know, we encourage that in our house, and it's one of her hobbies, and I hope it's a dream and a desire of hers that comes true someday. Reading is really important. You know, even Benjamin Franklin said, "The person who deserves the most pity is a lonesome one on a rainy day who doesn't know how to read." Also, Walt Disney said, "There's more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island." You know, it's true. You know, also, another gentleman that I admire and think accomplished quite a bit, and we have kind of talked about him a little bit today. Today's Juneteenth, and is Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln said, "Books serve to show a man that those original thoughts of his aren't very new after all." And it's true. How many times have you sat around and thought something crazy and thought, "Oh my gosh, I'm weird," you know, or "I'm unique"? You know, there are multiple billions of people on this planet, and I can assure you anything you've ever thought, no matter how crazy you thought it was, has also been thought additionally by thousands of others on the planet. It's not what we think, it's the actions that we take or do not take, right? And you're going to be successful. You're taking actions towards achieving your goals. You're walking down the path towards your destination, and your destination is that new, beautiful life that you're creating for yourself. I believe books can help you get there, and they can. Now, J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter fame said, "If you don't like to read, you haven't found the right book." And I think that's 100% the truth, right? When you go to Barnes & Noble and you look around, there's thousands of books, thousands of opportunities. You know what? Just identify something that's of primary interest to you. And the book doesn't have to be a big novel. You know, the most important information can come from the smallest of books. Yet, if we can self-identify with it and it touches us inside and helps us to develop into a better person, or helps us to generate more creative thoughts, or helps to rewrite some programming in our supercomputers that we no longer want there anymore, you know what? Then that's it. That's all we need to find. It's just that one for us. Look around a little bit. I'm sure it won't be hard to find the right book for you. And finally, one of my favorite individuals of all time, because I love his candor and I love his ability to speak and to vocally present knowledge and information in a very unique way, is Mark Twain. And Mark Twain says, "The man who does not read good books is no better than the man who can't." I think he just said it all there, right? Friends, take time today to go out. Maybe go to Barnes & Noble. You know, it's a great place to get a coffee. I'm not promoting Barnes & Noble, nor do I have any affiliation with them. But it's a great place. Some of them have a coffee shop inside. Go in, find a book, sit down and read. I have some books that I recommend. You know, as we've been going through our success discussions, I've recommended to you Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I have recommended As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I have also recommended U Squared by Price Pritchett. And last but not least, I have recommended to you your invisible power. Now, these are all books that have demonstrated the ability to present information that can help us to continue down our success path. Each book has the last one or two or three lessons in them that can help us to become more successful, help us to become better individuals, help us to transcend maybe some of the past learning that we've had that is incorrect and that we no longer want in this supercomputer. Instead, we want to rewrite this programming so that we can be more productive, we can be more successful, we can make more money, we can have better relationships with our families. All these things can be acquired by reading books. And you know what? Reading a book, it's been proven scientifically that reading a book, your brain assimilates the information much more differently than it does when you listen to the word or visually watch television. In fact, I think when you watch TV, the brain just pretty much, it doesn't do anything good for your brain at all. In fact, I think it might do some negative things. We don't have television in our home. But some people do. And if you do and you get something out of it, that's fantastic. And you know what? That's perfectly okay, because we're all unique and our journey is going to be different, but our destination is the same. We're all working towards a primary goal. Listen, friends, I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day experience yesterday. I know I did. You know what? Let's take on this week with vigor. Let's get out there. Let's get it done. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have the most wonderful day ever today, okay? I care about you. I know you can do it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, friends.